To store the data, we must create database tables in a database. For this reason, we must know how to create, update and delete database tables. In this video tutorial, we will learn how to create, update and delete tables in PostgreSQL Database Server. Also, we will learn how to add data rows in a database table. Let's get started. On my Windows 11 operating system, I have logged into my PostgreSQL Database Server using default database and username. First of all, I will create a new database for our example database tables. The SQL statement is create database and name of the database. I will name my database as PnTutorials and semicolon to terminate the SQL statement. You can name your database as per your choice. Press enter. And we get this create database confirmation message. We can confirm the newly created database using \l, press enter. And sure enough, the database exists on our PostgreSQL database server. Currently, we are connected to the default database named Postgres. We can switch from the default Postgres database to our new database using the connect command like \connect keyword space and the new database name, which is PnTutorials, semicolon, press enter. And we get this confirmation message that you are now connected to database PnTutorials as the default user Postgres. Also, we can see the selected database name here. We can even use a database connection shortcut like \c space and let's connect to default database, which is Postgres, semicolon, press enter. And we are connected back to the default database, which is Postgres. Let's connect back to our new database using the shortcut \c PnTutorials, semicolon, press enter. Now let's create a database table in our database. The SQL statement is create table, then name of the table which we are going to create. Let's give the name of our new database table as students space, and in opening and closing parenthesis we define column names and their data types. For our students table, we're gonna have 3 columns: name, class and age. Let's define the column names and their data types. The first column is name space and it would be a varchar because it will store string values. And inside parenthesis, we will define the maximum character length this name column will store, and it can store 50 characters long string, comma. Then second column name would be class and its data type again would be a varchar and it will store 30 characters long string, comma. And the last column name would be age and it will store numeric values. So we will define its data type as int, which means integer. Again, the create table statements. The create table keyword followed by the name of the table which we going to create. In our case, it would be students. And in opening and closing parenthesis, we will define column names and their data types. So in our students table, we will have 3 columns: name, class and age. The name and class will store string values. So we have defined the data types as varchar and value inside these parentheses define the maximum length of a string we can store. And finally, the age column will store integer or numeric values without decimal point. Semicolon to terminate the SQL statement. Press enter and execute the SQL statement. And we get this create table confirmation message. We can show list of tables in the selected database using \ in small letters dt, semicolon, press enter. And we can see newly created database table named students in our PostgreSQL database server. Once a table has been created, we can add data rows in it. We can add data rows in a table using insert into SQL statement. The SQL statement will be insert into, then name of the table. In our case, it would be students In opening and closing parenthesis, the name of columns, name, comma, class, comma, age, parenthesis complete, then values keyword. Then in opening and closing parenthesis, we will provide the values. For first name, let's say John Doe, comma, the class name would be first and the age which would be 5. Complete the parenthesis, then semicolon to terminate the SQL statement. Again, to understand the insert into SQL statement, insert into name of the table, which is students in our case. In first opening and closing parenthesis, we will define column names. In our case, there are 3 columns, name, class and age. After completing the parenthesis, the values keyword, and followed by in opening and closing parenthesis, we provide the values, the name, class and age. Please note the values we have provided in this opening and closing parenthesis must match to the order we have given here in first parenthesis. So first value would be name, second value would be class and third value would be age. Also, please note, when we provide string values, it must be wrapped in single quotes, while we provide integer values without single quotes. And terminate the SQL statement after this parenthesis. Press enter to execute the SQL statement. And we should get this insert 1, that means one data row has been inserted in the table. We can confirm if the data row was successfully stored in the database using select star from students semicolon, press enter, and we can confirm here the data row was successfully stored in the students database table. Similarly, we can store multiple data rows using SQL statement. Insert into name of the table, then in first parenthesis, column names, name, class and age, then values keyword. Now here we will provide 2 data rows. For the first data rows, in opening and closing parenthesis, let's provide the values like name here, then the class name, then age. Complete the parenthesis. Please note here we are providing multiple data rows for insert into students table. So here once the first data row values are complete, after the parenthesis add a comma symbol. Then in another opening and closing parenthesis provide second data row values. So I will provide the second data row values here. Then the class name and then age. Complete the parenthesis and semicolon to terminate the SQL statement. To understand the SQL statement again, insert into keyword, the name of the table, then in first opening and closing parenthesis, the column names, name, class and age, the values keyword. Then here we are adding 2 data rows. For the first row, in opening and closing parenthesis, we provide values in the order we have provided this data column order. And in second parenthesis, we provide the second data row values. And after completing the parenthesis, we terminate the SQL statement with a semicolon. Press enter to execute the SQL statement. Again, we can see here insert and to confirmation message, which confirms that we have successfully added 2 data rows in students table. And we can confirm that with select star from students semicolon, press enter. And sure enough, we can see the 2 data rows in the students table. Now let's modify our students table and add one more column named phone, which will store the phone number of students. To modify an existing table, we use alter SQL statement. The statement to add new column will be alter table, name of the table to alter. In our case, it would be students. Then add the new column name, which would be phone, and its data type, it would be an integer. Alter table keyword, then name of the table, which is students, then add keyword and the new column name, which would be phone, and its data type, which will be an integer. Press enter and we get this alter table confirmation message. We can confirm the changes using select star from students semicolon press enter, and we can see this new column which is phone. In order to see the column data type and more information about a database table, we can use \d plus symbol and name of the table, in our case students semicolon press enter, and we can see the existing column names as well as the newly added column, and here we can see their data types. Suppose we want to change the data type of phone column from integer to a string or varchar data type so that we can store special symbols like parenthesis in the phone number. And we can do that by modifying a phone number column's data type. To do that, again use alter SQL statement like alter table, name of the table to alter students, then alter column, name of the column to alter which is phone, and we are altering the type, so enter type, and the new type would be varchar and it will be 15 characters long, semicolon to terminate the SQL statement. Again alter table, name of the table to alter which is students, then alter column, name of the column to alter which is phone, and the new data type which would be varchar 15 characters long. Press enter and we see this alter table confirmation message. Confirm the changes using \d plus students semicolon press enter, and this time we can see the phone number data type is character which is varchar 15 characters long. Let's say we want to remove this phone number column from the students table. Again we use alter SQL statement to modify the table structure. The SQL statement will be alter table students, this time drop column, name of the column to drop which is phone semicolon, again alter table keyword followed by name of database table which we want to alter, and from this database table we are removing or dropping the column phone, so drop column and phone. Press enter and we get this alter table confirmation message. Confirm the changes using select star from students semicolon press enter, and this time we can see the phone number column is gone. Let's learn the next important SQL statement, which is to remove or delete or drop an existing table. The SQL statement is very simple, which is drop table and name of the table to drop which is students table semicolon, again drop table keyword, then name of the table to drop which is students semicolon to terminate the SQL statement. Press enter and we see this confirmation message drop table. And now if we list the tables in our database using \dt semicolon press enter, we see a message that did not find any relations. It means the PnTutorials database does not have any database table. Please note, when we delete a database table, all the data rows in it will get removed. So be careful before executing drop table SQL statement. This video tutorial covered how to create, update and delete database tables and how to add data rows in an existing database table. I hope this video tutorial was helpful to you. If you encounter any issue or don't understand something, feel free to ask me questions in the comment section of this video. Subscribe to my channel for more database related videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.